Good afternoon, Jay. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good, good. I wanted to kind of take things back. In our last recording, you were talking a little bit about flow. And a few days ago, I was in this office pricing some jobs, and my son walks in, and he's 4 years old. He says, "Dad, can you come play with me?" I'm like, "Oh, baby, I can't right now. Daddy's got to price this job. I got to worry about a couple things, figure some stuff out. Like, I'll come play with you in a couple of hours." And I just heard the door close. Freaking broke my heart, dude.
Mm.
And I know
I
better. I know better, man. Right? Like, but it happens, and like this flow thing, it kind of hit me. I want to hear. Let's dig a little further into this because I know I'm not the
Yeah.
only one.
So it's a simple definition for flow. I mean, ultimately, I think too many contractors they don't they don't know how to get themselves truly productive. And the reason why is simple. Their energy is being spread a million different ways. Okay? When our energy is taken and drawn away a million different ways, and we don't have the ability to say no, we don't have the ability to determine which tasks are important and which ones are not,
Yeah,
family in point. Okay. If we don't have a plan, like a real honest plan these days, like you need to be so laser focused on the objective you need to achieve. So, a great example, if we maybe wound up earlier in the day on before your son had come to that point,
hmm
all right, what else happened? What, like, this is the part maybe we don't talk about. What else was the day filled with? Were there things in your day where had you planned to spend time with your son, you would have maybe avoided or not taken on? Or maybe, again, maybe we work through lunch at work so that we're home a little bit earlier so that we could get this thing done, right? Again, it's the intention of what you want in your life. And when you sit down and you refuse the chaos, all right, you refuse the neglecting of what's really important in life, all right, you will begin to find flow. And flow is simply this, okay? We all have certain activities or things that we do where we lose track of time, where
yeah, of
you're
course.
so into it, you enjoy it. Like I have that when I'm reading sometimes. Like I'll read a book and like next thing you know, it's like 4 hours later. I'm like, what the hell? Like what? Like I'm just completely lost in it. Like something interesting, training, stuff like that. Like and what I don't think people understand is that's the state we're supposed to be in the most, yet we're in it the least. That's the most productive. That's the most satisfying. That's the most that's where real stuff happens. Okay, and again, if you have flow in your business, when you have flow with your family, when you have flow in all areas of your life, you're touched, and you're able to do things at a speed and a level, all right, that you would never be able to do. So the best example I can give you is I catch flow usually in the morning, get up at 4 a.m. All right, not for everybody, but that's my routine.
Yeah, yeah.
And first thing I do is clear my thoughts. I discharge all of the negative or even positive, overly positive things that are going on. I discharge, I bring myself to neutral. All right. Now I have a system. It's not for everyone. Not every, like you need to build your own routines, and I have lots of tools and things. But let's just start with mine. Right. I discharge negative emotions, positive emotions. It takes me like 5 minutes. I just make sure that I'm starting the day in neutral and present. I'm showing up and I'm tapping in. Okay. The second thing I'm doing is I'm considering my energy rituals. You know the best way to fall out of flow? Take away your energy.
Tell me.
Have your dips in energy. So one of the best ways to lose flow, and again, we'll get more into the definition of it, is not to be consciously aware of where you get your energy from. Okay, this comes down to core values. This comes down to understanding what real goals look like, having a routine that supports those goals, and living in a place where things can go wrong and you are still feeling great. You still have the
So,
energy to work through them. You still have the energy to adapt. And again, not to get overly into it, but people don't know how they actually get their energy. They don't realize, and they're constantly working against it. So, for example, let me give you a great example. Some people wake up in the morning and they drink coffee immediately and look at their phone. chemically,
Yeah.
that
What
is
do you
putting
mean?
you at a disadvantage. That means your energy is going to dip. All right. You're not aligning your mental energy with your physical energy. You're trying to cheat it with a stimulant, like a chemical stimulant. Then we eat a bullshit. We know how contractors eat, right? Tim Hortons, like, a garbage breakfast. And then we wonder why we're crashing, after one or two, or we have to drink coffee all day. And those stimulants, what it does is it puts you in a state of anxiety, purely. Now, let me tell you about anxiety a little bit so we're clear. Anxiety is a unproductive place to be if you're trying to create new circumstances for yourself. So let me be clear. Nothing new or creative can be done in the state of anxiety. Just like in depression, we can't do anything new or creative there. We're stuck. We're in
You're in
that
fight
state
or
forever.
flight. Yeah.
That's right. Fight or
Yeah.
flight. And it's a chemical reaction, is what people don't get. You have control over it. You can breathe through it. But I don't think like contractors just feel like that's the state you're supposed to be in all the time, because that's what we're exposed to in society. And again, not to get too into the weeds on this one, but um, let's take our education system, for example. They don't they don't teach you coping mechanisms to how to manage your stress, how to manage your um how to be productive, how to
Not even
feel good. Like,
close. Yeah.
none of this is taught
Not
for
even
a
close.
very, very logical reason. Is not everyone supposed to succeed? Now think about
So
that for a second. Like, think of the consequences of everyone being highly productive. Everyone having their own set of goals and being disciplined. What do you think our world would look like at that point? Would there be leaders and followers? Would there be, like, do you see what I'm saying here?
yeah,
Like,
productivity would be through the roof for
right,
sure.
but not only that, people would be able to make their own decisions. That's a dangerous thing. People would have thought that's beyond just what they need to do or the stress of doing. And again, distracted as a society, and there's more distractions than ever. And I notice it. I'm 100% aware of it. If you allow certain distractions into your life, okay, so again, just look how much you look at social media in the day. And then you tell me if your goal or your core value is family, all right, you spent an hour and 10 minutes on social media, but you missed the time with your son. Now, I'm not saying this specifically to you,
No, no,
and I'll
no. I'm
use
not taking
myself
it. Yeah.
as the example. I've done it. And, had I not been very clear about what my routine is and where I didn't meet my obligations to it and where I let myself down, um, it could go on indefinitely. Becomes a habit, and a habit. All right, and here's the connection. Here's the connection between flows. A habit is formed over a period of time of about 90 days. Okay, so if our habit is to let other people step on top of our core values, let other people push our personal boundaries, and our habit is to neglect our own energy. Our habit is to neglect our family. Our habits are to put work before everything. All right. Then that's what you're going to get in return. All right.
I think, Jay, like, if I can say, as
Sure.
contractors, as entrepreneurs in general, we're so used to self-sacrifice. And I think
And,
that's just that maybe that's what the routine is that we sacrifice our own time and ourselves, not realizing the impact it has.
and there's too many guys out there that are doing it without a plan. Period. Full stop. All right.
Yeah.
If you planned and you had intention of touching the areas in your life, right, and focusing on the things that are truly going to bring a difference to your business, to your finance, to your health, to all these things, and you focused on one or two things, and you did them consistently enough, they form a habit. That habit then supports what you want to do in your life. So again, if you want to be, core value is family, free time, freedom, like, business that operates without you. I didn't get to that point without sacrificing things that didn't have value in my life. So, for example, social media, cut out, gone, no room
Yeah.
for it, no
Of course.
time for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, other things like drinking, cut out, gone, no time for it, no space for it, no room in my life to
It
support
doesn't
that.
add value.
It doesn't bring nothing. Then you start looking at the toxic relationships, eliminated, gone. Nobody that comes into my world that pushes a boundary with me, all right, and doesn't learn. So, for example, I have a family member that negatively pushes boundaries, and I'm strong enough and I'm aware enough to remove that person from my life. And it's a full stop right there. And I don't question it because it's time consuming, it's energy consuming. If that's not bringing value and not getting me closer to my goal, then it's no place in my life. But
Agreed.
too many people spend their lives just reacting to things that are happening to them. So I hear this from contractors all the time. I have no time. But really, what they're saying is, I have no energy and I have no systems. That's what I'm hearing. Because when you have no system and no way to hold yourself accountable, this is what the outcome is you don't have any time, you don't have the results you want, you don't have, like, so at the end of the day, we're all, I think, really afraid of doing all of this and having nothing. I think that's the real, like, deep down, deep rooted fear, is that we're doing all of this and at the end of the day we're not going to have anything to show for it. And I
Right.
want to tell you, one last thing before I get off my soapbox here, but you can't you here's the secret. Here's a big secret. Whether you make $100,000 or whether you make $1 million, do you know what the feeling is between the two? You know what the difference is?
No idea.
Nothing. Nothing. Your life doesn't change
That's interesting.
anyway. Right? So I've been poor. I'm I've been wealthy. At the end of the day, you know what really sustained me and made me continue to go and made me to continue to be productive is that I didn't lose the things that I want the most and that bring me the most amount of happiness. Now, did I know what those things were when I started out? Fuck no. Did I even have a family? Right? So
Yeah.
as we go, it's about being aware of these things and making the room in your life for the things that actually give you the return. You can't come up with these things. You can't decide these things being in a normal state of anxiety. All right? So
I
if
can
you want to
appreciate
stay,
that.
yeah,
Sorry, Jay. Just to, I want to stick to one topic here, and you were talking
sure.
about core values. So I want to dial it back because I think it's worth paying attention to.
Mhm.
When you say core values, like that involves a lot of self analysis, and I know myself and a lot of other people don't take that time to turn inwards and really try to understand themselves and what
So
they want and what they need.
so let's talk about, instead of talking about the thing to do, let's talk about the outcome or the consequence of not
That's
doing it.
fair. Yeah,
Okay. So the consequence of not living up to your core value is that you're going to get to a destination at a certain point of time that you're not going to be happy with. Why? Because if you sacrificed all the things that it took, and that includes core values. So core values are, like, they've got to be bedrock. They've got to be, and if you want to run a team, you better have them first and foremost. But
they're
you're going to get to it,
non-negotiable.
right. But
Mm.
too many people in society allow themselves to be outside of those core values. So that's where their energy is getting zapped and drained from. So again, good example. If your core values integrity, all right, but you're so broke you're forced to maybe, do, shady shit, you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah,
And again, if you're being pushed into a situation where you feel you have no options because you're not thinking at a higher level and performing at a higher level, all right? Well, guess what? You've just made yourself your own victim. All right? And to me, the consequences of getting to a destination built on a system or a process that doesn't align with my core values is, it doesn't matter how successful it may look. I won't be happy. And I know that from my own failures. I'm telling you that from the real truth.
yeah. I
I've
think we've all
again,
experienced that, man.
for sure,
Absolutely. Yeah.
for sure. So it's intention, right? You have to intentionally align with your core values. And when you do that, all right, guess what? You can do it. And I always say this, and we were just talking about this before we jumped on. It starts with you. If you want a business and you want people to, live up to core values, you want to have culture in your business, you want to have all these things, you must be the one demonstrating it to your
You're
team.
right. Yeah,
All
you're
right.
absolutely right
If
about that.
if you are full of shit and you're living outside of those things, it's gonna show. So to me, don't even start a business without it. Don't even, like, don't waste anybody's time. Don't be in the way. Like, just go get a job somewhere and be the normal 9 to 5 guy and go live your life, because you're wasting time trying to be in business without taking those steps. Now, again, is it gonna get easier? No, it's harder. It gets even more harder. So like again, like these guys that I talk to a lot, and I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but it tends to be the ones that have been in the same spot for years and years. And you know, I've had 3, 4, 5 calls with them over a time period, and it's always amazed me that everything that I suggest or that I'm like, hey, you know what, it's this. Hey, you know what, it's this. It's always the same thing. Where did you start from? At where was the entry point to you becoming a businessman? Where was the entry point to you being in control of your life? And what I find underneath all of it is that most of us are in shiny object syndrome. They think one thing or the other thing will just fix their problem. If I just get this, I'll be good. If I just get this, I'll be good. I just need more sales. I just need no. You know what you need? You need to slow the fuck down. All right? You need to slow right down. Get
Yeah.
your shit together. Okay? Because listen, if you're not productive and you're not happy, you like the business revolves around you, dum dum. Like how on earth do you believe that you're going to grow a business when you are half a person inside?
Yep.
How?
Yep. And even if you do, if your business scales somehow, so will your
It's just
problems.
gonna make you
Yeah.
more miserable. And
Yep.
again, if your business isn't satisfying to you, if you can't be in flow while you're doing what you love or what you should be doing or what you're passionate about, then get out. Don't go any further.
I think that's a part of it though, right? Like, I mean, when we all first got into the businesses that we're in, we did have a lot of passion for it. And somewhere
And
along the lines comes
mhm,
the things that we don't
the
like
hard
to
work.
do. Right. Maybe
Right,
not even hard work. I mean, it's all hard work, but there's things that we enjoy and there's
right.
things that we don't, right? For some people, administrative stuff is just a nightmare for them. They don't,
So
how do you get into a flow of something you don't like doing?
100%. You know how you do it? I'll tell you exactly how you do it. You don't. But you
I
need to
didn't
be
expect
aware.
that, man.
You don't. Don't do things that don't give you energy because you're neither going to be good at them, right? Or they're going to be neither going to be productive. So don't. If you are forcing yourself to do something constantly that is not your zone of genius, you are costing your business money. You're costing your life, you're costing everything. But we think too much in scarcity and don't think about the real and we don't have a system.
That's
That's
true.
really
And
what
we've
I'm
talked about this. No, you're right.
and again, it's about these higher level thoughts where again, like if I told you the type of conversations I've even had today about like and maybe I've used the phrase a few times, but like most of my job is looking at someone's watch and telling them what time it is. That's it. Most of it. And I don't want to make it sound like you know that simple, but in a lot of times it is that simple, right? I hear guys that have been struggling with the same problem for years and oh, I couldn't find an admin. I couldn't find a salesperson. What would you try? Oh, but it failed here. No, no, it just comes down to I'm afraid. And I don't and I'm not using my time productively. I'm putting myself in the same bad situation over and over again that takes my energy away and causes me to fail.
Yeah.
If we just correct that, if we just if we just become consciously aware and like I said, you slow down to speed up, right? You got these things clear. It's easy to delegate. It's easy to let go, but you can't because you're so wound up in anxiety and you get so unproductive in your thoughts. Your thoughts are not you. That's another big thing I see a lot. Your
Absolutely.
thoughts are
Absolutely.
not
Yes.
you. Your
Yes.
thoughts are something your brain does and they're you can control them or you can let them dominate you.
But you are also responsible for the ones that you entertain,
For
right?
sure, but it's also listen, garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
All right.
Right.
If you are surrounded by garbage and you're, I think one of the best examples I can give of this is the guy that's been working with his crew for the last 10 years, but can't seem to grow the business. Geez, I wonder why. Does that have anything to do with the fact that everyone around you does not want to see you succeed? What does succeeding mean to them? What does it
I
represent?
see what you mean. Yeah.
Right? And then what level of conversation are you having with an employee? What
Yeah.
challenges are you given? How exactly are they keeping you accountable? So again, is it really time or is it productivity or is it and and again, you know, I won't it's different a little different for everyone, but I what I see the most of, what I've come to understand is it's fear. Behind all of it It's fear and it's sabotage. Because if I had a very honest conversation and someone opens up to me, which happens all the time, all right, we always get to the same point. I knew I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't be doing that. I know they know what they should or shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing.
They just don't
What
know how to stop.
they what they don't have, and this is again kind of coming back to the whole full circle, full point. They don't have a system. They don't have a way of seeing what's working and what's not working. And what's that forcing them to do? It's forcing them to every day come up with a brand new plan of how they're going to get out of a situation. And that plan, again, as much as smart as there are people out there, I know better that my thoughts and my emotions, all right, I can't trust them. I
No,
can't trust them
no.
all the time, right? Because there's factors in there that would again, if I'm not clear about it, that would that would cause me to be misguided. Right now, you add bad nutrition, you add stress, you add
Oh yeah.
addictions, you add all these other things,
Yeah.
and then tell me why exactly you couldn't get to where you want to go. And the reality is, it's a long road, man. It's a marathon. It's not a race. You have to get the core values correct first. Why? The why. Start with why. Like, why are you doing? If people just spent more time asking themselves why, instead of trusting their gut or their feelings, they would get a lot further. Because when you start to question those things and you really examine them, all right, and you get them out of your head, you get them onto paper, and you make those things real, it it it, the answers to your problems are right in front of you.
It's funny you say that because that's kind of the challenge for a lot of us. There's a lot of shit that we'd rather not know about ourselves, right? So we turn away
For
from it.
sure. So then stay out of business. Go get a job. Then you can just hide away and live a life. But if you're looking to run a business that is going to work or operate without you, and you've got a growth mindset, then you're going to challenge these things. You're going to be all over them, or
Yeah.
stay stuck, stay miserable. It's up to you. But these are things that no coach, nobody can force you to do. You have to do them yourself. Now, can we give you tools? Can we help to bring these things to the surface? Absolutely. And I love doing it. One of the best moments that I've had in the last 2 weeks was working with an owner that decided that he was done in his business. And it was a profound moment. There was tears, there was the whole bit, but he realized in our call, all right, that nothing in his business aligned with what he wanted in life, and he was miserable. There was nothing that he wanted to do to fix it, and that was okay.
That's
He
wild.
was
That's interesting.
he at that point realized that, "Hey, I am I am not prepared to do X, Y, and Z, right? And the best thing for me, and the best thing for my family, and the best thing for all these other things." Now he came in determined that he was going to, do something crazy and turn this business all around. And I mean, again, I had to
Shiny
stop him. I'm like,
object. Yeah.
"Tell me why. Tell me why." Well, and he could not over 45 minutes tell me why. Why do you want this? Why do you want to keep, and finally it got to the point where he was like, he was almost yelling at me. And he's like, "I don't know why." I was like, "Then don't do it. If you can't answer why, then don't do it." That is a sure sign. If you can't tell me that your business gives you energy in some sort of way and that you have a passion for what you're doing, and you can't tell me, all right, that you've built your business around delivering to you, not you delivering to it, delivering to you the freedom that you're looking for, the lifestyle that you're looking for, and you don't have a plan for that, all right, then the only choice you have is to stop and align with those things. Now, if you have that conversation with yourself and you determine that I actually hate being in business, and that's what he did. He's like, "I don't like doing any of it. I've got no passion from it." I'm like, "So the answer is right there. Then why are you doing it?" Because if that's the case, you're neither going to be good at it, productive at it. You're not going to, like, you have no goals, no directions. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Are
you're
you
definitely
here?
not going to find happiness.
Right.
And I think we should leave it honestly at that note,
Sure.
the why. I think that's like the most powerful takeaway, like is really to look internally and understand why you're doing what you're doing,
Right. And
right?
if you can't, before you do anything more in your business, if you don't have these things and you don't have this aligned, don't fix anything else. It's not going to work. You're going to fail like you failed before. And again, I'm saying this lightly and I don't want to call anyone out, but this is for a particular people that I have in mind that I deal with day in and day out, and that I say it to just so that they remember, if they don't start with this point, you don't start here, right? You're only going to finish up in a place that's not going to be in line with where you want to go, right? It's just like, again, it's driving your car down the highway blind, the wrong direction.
So, are you ready to tell everybody that you may or may not have some solutions for the community?
Of course, I got solutions. And I think it's obvious why we're here and what we're here for. What I'd like to do, I mean, again, is have if this resonates with anyone that's listening, get in touch with us. Let me help you. Let me help you make the first step. I don't want anything for it. I mean, I'll give you the first steps. I'll tell you exactly what to do for free. All right, that's how passionate I am about truly getting people unstuck. All right, now again, do you need accountability? Do you need the other things that go in alignment with finding these things? Absolutely. But if you're open to having the conversation with yourself, I'll give you the workbooks, I'll give you the tools, I'll give you all of it for free. All right, that's how passionate I am about helping people. So again, if you're looking to start and you're truly open to this entire concept, and you want to get your energy back, you want to start to find your purpose again, you want to feel connected with your family, you want to be present, like, those are very important. And let me tell you, you can have all those things while you're building a business. You do not have to sacrifice them to build a business. And in fact, if you do, you'll end up with a business that doesn't ever deliver those things. It's your choice. Figure it out.
Don't you think sometimes it would be a lot easier if you didn't care about the success rate of the people in our community and you just cared about selling product?
Absolutely. I'm very good at selling, but results again, people who don't deliver results don't have a very long future in this business, because eventually people figure out that you're not delivering
And
results.
you're going to get called out. You're absolutely right about
And,
that, Jay.
and the reality here is much rather have 10 full-on success stories, all right, and breakthroughs and moments where people get to the level that they dream of getting to, than to have 100 mediocre semi-par results. And that's the truth. So if that doesn't make it more clear, I'm not after your money, I'm not after any of that stuff. My intention is very clear, and it's really got a lot to do with my own core values, is that I'm absolutely honest with you in terms of being obsessed with results. And I won't deliver, and I won't tell you to do anything I haven't done myself, that I'm not in alignment with, that I haven't practiced, and that you can call me out personally on. So again, take that for what it's worth, or what that may mean to you. But there's lots of information out there. We can all admit that, right? Nothing
Yeah.
I'm saying is either new or, it's been said by others. It's been put out there. All right. The difference here is I'm willing to stand by your side and get you through it so you get to see the results. In fact, stand isn't even the word for it. I'm willing to push you through, get you the results, prove it to you that, these things can be real, right? So making better people, making better contractors.
All right. Let's save a
That's it
little bit for next week. What do you say?
for sure.